I have a really itchy vocal on my arm. You might want to move my phone. It's right next to the microphone, and if it makes any sort of like on the block right next to the microphone.
Okay. For class today, grab your favorite playlist. Have some music handy. Put it on right now if you like. We don't have music in the background because of copyright issues. So choose your own favorite playlist for today, please.
I think I'm just gonna take a nap.
It's not yoga nap time.
Well, last week you lied to me, and you told me it was gonna be yoga nidra, and it wasn't. I didn't get my nap last week. Move. Move around.
You moved 3 times.
Woke me up at night in the morning, and you're like, "Hey, it's yoga nidra day. Get out of bed!" Like, got up, I got excited. You get here, and you're like, "It's not really yoga nidra."
All right, today's yoga for anxiety. We're not going to really need many props or anything. Maybe a block if you like to use the block for standing. I think our camera is wonky. Our camera is like... Best I can do.
What?
So grab your music, have some music on in the background, and have it be some fun music. Today's yoga for anxiety, and everybody could use a little less anxiety right now. I think we're all kind of feeling it. So even if you don't necessarily suffer from anxiety, this type of yoga can help you. Grab any comfort items. I like to have the crystals nearby. Anything that you have that when you see it makes you feel better, bring it on over. Have it handy.
That's why you have me here.
This is why I can't see you that well. So we're going to get started down on our backs. So feel free to just start on your back. Give it another minute. We're supposed to go live at 12. And of course, I announced 11 on Facebook this morning. So that was not helpful. Huh?
My eyes won't stop watering. I'm sobbing. All
right, so let's get started. We're going to start down on our backs. As always, you have choices. You can be in full shavasana with your legs long. You can bring your feet down, knees up. Take your feet a little wider than your hips and let your knees soften in. If this is not 100% comfortable on your back, then experiment with moving your feet further away from your hips or a little bit closer. See where your comfort position is.
I wear shorts because it's been so hot in here, and of course now it's cold.
It's freezing today, yeah. So land on the ground and take some time to really land on your mat in your space. As if we're building up little walls around our mat and everything else is outside those walls. We're going to take a little break. It'll be there when we get up done, but we can take a break, turn it off, switch it off. Come inside ourselves. One of the ways that we can best serve others and serve our community is to be grounded. To get strong and firm and grounded within ourselves so that we may better be of service to those who need us. And right now, there are a lot of people in need. So starting to really slow down your breath and land on your mat. Feel your hips on your mat. Feel your shoulders on your mat. Feel your feet on your mat. Back of your head, maybe even a little soft side with your head, letting tension in your neck go. And then thinking about anxiety as being excess energy. We're going to do a little breath practice for just kind of getting breath out. So breath and energy are intertwined. So start to slow your breath down really slow as you can without forcing it with muscle. Breathing in nice and slow. And slowly breathing out. Noticing perhaps that the natural exhale pattern is to be a little longer on the exhale than the inhale. Maybe it's not. Maybe you're holding some tension on the exhale. So take note. And then very gently begin to add a little pause at the end of the exhale. So breathe in fully. Breathe out fully, and then add a gentle pause. And if it helps, you can say to yourself and talk yourself through this to keep you focused and to remind yourself that the pause is a gentle pause, not a force. So breathing in fully, very slowly breathing out, gentle pause. Explore that for a few rounds. And then experiment with breathing in fully, breathing out fully, gentle pause, and then just see if there's a little more exhale you can push out. So breathe in fully, exhale fully, gentle pause, and then just a little more exhale. See if there's a little stuck. And then return a couple of rounds. And then bring the palms of your hands together. Rub them together and make them really warm. And then bring one hand at a time on top of your heart space and just feel the warmth of your hands in this space. And imagine the warmth of your hands could be unconditional love. And imagine you're sealing in a little love, unconditional love in your center space, in your heart space. Sealing it in and bringing it in. We can only send out unconditional love when we learn how to give it to ourselves. And then gently bring your knees in towards the chest. Give yourself a little hug. And then take your feet up towards the ceiling. Take some wiggles with the feet and the toes. Whatever feels good. Just getting your feet above your heart. Starting to move the feet. Take out any kinks. Take some circles with the feet. Opening up the ankles. And then thinking about pressing through the ball of the foot, as if you're pushing on a gas pedal. We're going to start to bicycle our legs, moving very slow. Bring one knee down at a time and then press the other leg away, nice and slow. Starting to find all the muscles in the legs, drawing the stomach towards the spine, activating the stomach. And then start to send your bicycle feet towards the wall. Try not to go so low that your lower back is doing all the work. Keep it in your core. Still nice, long, slow breath. Bring your bicycle feet back up towards the ceiling. And then bring your knees back in. Give yourself a little hug. Reset. Take your feet down, knees up about hip width apart. Land the shoulders on the ground. Try not to chuck the chin to the chest. We're going to move and breathe with the hips rolling bridges. Inhale, lifting the hips. Exhale, lower. Moving with the breath. If you want to experiment with keeping that little the little pause after the exhale, go ahead and add it. Matching breath with movement and trying to find even use. So all of the back of the legs, the glutes are all active, as well as the stomach. Starting to find the stomach, pulling the hips up, as well as pressing into the ground to lift the hips. Soft face, soft shoulders, soft neck, strong back of the legs, strong glutes, strong core. And then lower the hips. And we're going to move just the pelvic bowl. So get the feet grounded on the ground. Take a little shuffle of the hips. Just make sure the lower back is nice and soft. We're going to tilt the pelvis up and then down with the breath. Inhale, lift. Exhale, down. You're basically rolling on the sacrum. Try to make this soft. We're not using muscular action. We're rolling through the hips. We often keep a lot of tension in the lower back and hips, so we're just looking to find and release, letting go. And then let that go. Land on the ground. We're going to press into the heels and take little wiggles. So pressing into the heels, shuffle the hips like you're pulsing and letting the hips just land softly on the ground. Little wiggles. Letting the hips wiggle, maybe vibrate a little, maybe shake and shimmy them left and right. Find what feels good. This little vibration releases tension, so looking for ways to let go of tension across the hips. Jiggle like you're a bowl of jelly. And then let that go. See how your hips feel. Maybe shuffle the knees a little side to side. Well, now think about the shoulders. So bring the hands down by the hips, not right close to the hips, give a little space. Press the palms of the hands down into the ground. Fire up the arms and the shoulders. Notice any unusual holding patterns in your back when you begin to do this, maybe also in your neck or face. Just firing up the arms and the shoulders and the chest. Try to let the lower back go. Maybe some gripping in the mid back. Try to let go, press, and then we're going to press and pulse. So press into the hands, let go. Press into the hands, let go. Little pulses here. Really paying attention to any unusual holding patterns that begin in our neck. Press and pulse. Press and pulse. Let that go. Flip the hands so the palms are up. Now we're going to push the back of our hands into the ground. Press the back of the hands into the ground. See that the back muscles begin to fire up behind the shoulders. Press, 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 press. Press everything into the ground and notice your holding patterns or compensation. Find places that are weak and other places that are stronger muscles that are trying to do the work. Maybe try to turn off the lower back. Turn off the face. Turn off the neck. Find your breath. And then we're going to pulse this. A little pulse on, pulse off. Let that go. Bring the arms down closer to the hips. Press the shoulders into the ground and then slowly draw the shoulders up towards the ears while pressing onto the ground. And now we're trying to find the muscles in between the shoulder blades without any compensation patterns in the lower back. Mindful of the neck and the face. Soften the face. Find your breath. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Squeeze the shoulder blades down your back. Press your hands towards your hips. Press, press, press. Notice any place that you start to use more muscular action, maybe the lower back. And then let go suddenly. Take a little shuffle of the shoulders on the ground. And then we're going to press the palms of our hands down into the ground. We're looking for that wiggle. So we're going to pulse our hands on and off, just trying to get our shoulders to wiggle a little bit. So pressing on and off. And maybe you can get the wiggles to start to happen all the way down the torso. Maybe pulsing left and right. See which feels better. We're looking for the little wiggles and pulses. These little vibrations help release tension in the muscles. Shuffle the body, let it wiggle like jelly. Let go. And then suddenly release and see how you feel. Finding your breath. Take the right hand all the way to the ceiling above the shoulder. We're going to lift that right hand so the shoulder lifts up off the ground, and then we're going to let the shoulder plop down suddenly. Lift and plop. Let that plop happen. We're looking for the vibrations right in the shoulder. Notice how hard it is to let your hand just drop, let the muscles loosen, especially when your hand is right above your face. Your brain kind of resists. Imagine someone just dropped your hand and it just fell to the ground. Your shoulder just fell and wiggled. Notice left and right side, so let that go. And then take the left hand to the ceiling, lift the shoulder up off the ground, and then let it drop. Lift and drop. Let that go. Notice the shoulders. Maybe notice some tension, letting go in the neck, wiggle the head. We're going to take a little cross-body patterning. So mindful of the neck here. We're going to lift the right arm, cross the body, touch the left knee. But try to roll with your head on the ground. We want to tap the left knee, either the left knee or the thigh, roll back and tap the other side. So this is not muscular action, it's patterning. We're crossing the body. So try to just roll softly through this movement, mindful of any strain in the neck or the back. And really think about, I'm touching my left hand to my right leg. I'm touching my right hand to my left leg. Nice and slow, rolling, letting go. We're not building muscle here. This is about brain patterning, yoga for anxiety. If you like, you can start to change this up, maybe bringing your foot up and touching near your foot, making it bigger, changing it even more, just crossing the body. The whole point is moving across the body and connecting with left crossing right, right crossing left. As if inviting your left and right sides of your mind and your body to reset, make new pathways. Now bring that down, bring your arms wide from the shoulders, palms up. Allow your shoulders to really sink into the ground. Take a long, slow breath. See if there's some more tension you can let go of across the shoulders. Maybe a little more across the hips. And then slowly roll onto a side. Come on up to a seated position. We just got started. So find a comfortable seat. Take your time to find your hips. Your comfortable seat is however you are comfortable. You do not have to be in cross-legged.
This is my comfortable seat.
That's why the seat. Come on up. Get really tall in the spine. Imagine that your crown could lift a little taller. I'm going to start to move and breathe here. So bringing our arms up, we're going to move from the rib cage up. Inhale is center, exhale is twist. Inhale, center, and exhale, twist. Trying to move from the rib cage up, not pushing into a hip, not pushing into a foot. There is no competition for deepest twister. We're just moving through the planes of our spine and connecting with our breath. Bring it back to center. Bring the arms down and roll one shoulder at a time as slow as you can. Backwards. And then the other one, nice and slow back. Big, slow circles. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, draw the elbows down behind you. Make a big W. Pull the elbows behind you. We're going to inhale, squeeze elbows together. Exhale, push the walls away from us. Inhale, squeeze. Exhale, push. Find some muscles in between the shoulder blades and mid-back. And notice if you're starting to use the lower back a little too much. Maybe squeeze the core a little.
When we do these shoulder exercises in class, apparently it's not supposed to make noise.
It is. It's just
eventually do it more.
Yes.
So you told me. It makes noises every time I do it. It's very loud.
Bring the arms down. And again, nice, slow shoulder rolls. Bring the arms out, about shoulder height. We're going to flip and corkscrew. So we use the hands to guide us, but we're really thinking about rolling the shoulders. So roll the right hand all the way back. Roll the shoulder back. Look at the right hand. Corkscrew to roll the left hand back, right hand forward, and then move through, letting go of tension in the shoulders, looking to adjust holding patterns, letting go. Kind of undoing day-to-day movement in your shoulders. Bring it back through center and come on over to a tabletop position. Finding a nice strong tabletop. Connecting with our breath first. Inhaling in tabletop, exhaling, sending the hips backward. Inhaling forward and exhaling backwards.
I think I can do the whole class with the blanket, man. I think I can do it.
Really connecting in with your breath. Maybe even adding in that gentle pause at the end of the exhale. And then slowly lower all the way down to our stomachs. Crocodile pose. One hand on top of the other, forehead down, shimmy the hips, let go. Notice what comes up. Checking in on those same points that we hold tension. How do our hips feel? How do our shoulders feel? How does that neck feel? Can you soften your face a little more? And giving a little engagement to our stomach. So as if we're trying to pull our pelvis a little bit towards our belly button, start to engage. Bring your hands down under your shoulders. You can tuck your toes or leave them flat, whichever is more comfortable. We're going to take shoulder rolls here. So one at a time, nice and slow. Mindful of neck tension. So nice and slow, roll one shoulder back and then the other. So as you're doing this, start to give a little feedback, pressing into the ground as you roll your shoulders back. Nice and slow and with control. Then let the shoulders go. Bring the arms down to wherever is comfortable. We're going to move and breathe, lifting the shoulders. So inhaling, lifting the shoulders, exhale, lower. Matching breath with movement in trying to find as many muscles on the back line as we can. Feet can stay down or you can begin to lift the feet up off the ground. And we're thinking about getting up and long, not getting up and really high. I'm going to think about getting length from the crown of the head to the tip of the toes. Inhale up, exhale down. If you like, you can start to bring the elbows and shoulders into play, bringing the elbows back, lifting the hands. That same kind of W shape, activating more of the back as we lift, moving with our breath. I have a teacher that likes to say, we cannot live with an open heart if we do not have a strong back. And our physical posture matches our emotional posture. So strengthen our backs so we can open our hearts. And then bring it on down to crocodile. Forehead down, shimmy the hips and loosen and soften what comes up. Find your breath. Often the most challenging poses in yoga are the ones where we are requested to stay still. It is in those moments that our body and our mind sends us the messages for us to process. Be open to your messages. Be open to listen without judgment to what's going on with your body and your mind and your emotions. Slowly bringing the hands in under the shoulders. Tuck the toes. Press the knees into the ground. Lift the stomach and send the hips backwards for a high hip child. So active child, opening up lower back, pressing into the hands. Breathe. And come on back to a tabletop position. Pressing into the hands nice and firmly. We're going to take some more shoulder circles. So pressing into the hands, roll the shoulders slow and with control. And then tuck the toes and send the hips back for down dog. Finding down dog, finding whichever movements feel good in your down dog. Maybe taking the hips side to side, bending one knee or the other, bending both knees at a time. Whatever feels good. Make this your practice.
The blanket's officially making it harder.
Inhale, lift the right leg high, and then take some really slow circles with this leg. And then bring the right leg behind right wrist.
Yeah, I don't think I could have done that with the blanket.
What?
I don't think I could have done that with the blanket.
If you like to use a block, this is where I like to use a block. It helps me remember to get up off the joints. So I can sink down into the joints or I can activate muscles around the joints. This feels better for me. So moving and breathing here. Inhaling forward, exhaling, sending some movement into this right leg, maybe straightening. Maybe a littler movement, maybe a smaller movement. Legs strong and active. Inhaling forward and exhaling backward.
Is lazy yoga a thing? I feel like it is. I think I've heard of that before. If it's not, we need to make it a thing.
Focusing forward on the weight on the front leg, we're going to roll through the weight on the foot. So press into underneath the ball of the big toe. Press in to slowly roll over onto the side of the foot. See how my knee starts to move out? Bring it back onto the heel and roll around like you're making a circle with the weight in your foot. Let your knee move as it normally moves. Really pressing into the ground. You might start to find some muscles in the hip. So typically we find little tiny muscles inside the inner thigh.
I still can't do this one.
So you really got to push into this front leg, bend the knee on the back leg. You're going too fast. Then switch the direction of your circle. and then set up low lunge. We're gonna press into that front leg. Inhale, rise up, high lunge. Settle in, get nice and balanced. Maybe even bring that back leg in a little. Strong in the legs. We're gonna reach our arms back. Inhale, draw back. Exhale, push. Inhale, draw back. Exhale, push. Matching our breath with the movement. Think about drawing something in and pressing away what we no longer need. Draw something in, press away. Get rid of things we no longer need. Then bring it back, prayer hands, settle into high lunge. Bring the weight onto that front foot, step in so your feet are a little bit more than mat width, hip distance apart. Tap it out a little. Tap it out a little. And then get your feet about hip distance apart. Activate the legs. So press into the legs and then feel like you're pulling them apart so the legs get nice and strong. We're going to inhale up, sweep in, fresh. Exhale, sweep out what we no longer need. Inhale, fresh. Grab it. Exhale, really sweep it away. Bring it back all the way up. Put hands down to our heart. Stand. Find your feet on the ground. Notice any sensations. We're going to move into a letting go. So here's where, if you have your favorite music on, it's going to help. So we're going to tap. So we're letting go. Tap left and right feet. Start to tap. And then start to make this movement more free. So start to make arms in it, letting go. Tapping, letting go. And we're not in the studio. So you're at home, let go, make your movement free. Nobody can see you. And if they can, who cares? Let go.
Your cats can judge you.
Huh?
I said the cats can judge you.
Yeah. Cats are judging you anyway. So start to make it more tribal. Start to tap it. Start to really let go. Tap it out. Feel the ground. Make some movement. Be a little free. Find your breath.
Just fell over.
Stand center. Take a breath in. Bring it down to your heart. Pause. And thinking about our wonderful hips where we store all that tension, now we're just going to be silly. We're going to bring the right knee up. We're going to step, hop, bring it back. We're going to bring the left knee up, step, hop, bring it back. So you're going to fall. I did the wrong way. So tap and lift.
Oh, we're not moving. Okay.
Let those hips go. Tap. So you can make this small. You can just bring your hips around. You don't have to tap. It helps to tap. So let the vibrations happen. Kaylee will always teach you yoga. So bring it around and let those hips go. Switch directions. So bring the hip forward. Other way. Bring the arms crazy. Make it crazy. Let it go. And then right center. Take a deep breath in. Bring it down to your heart. Pause. And notice what comes up. Soften the face. Soften the shoulders. Inhale, lift our prayer up overhead. You can interlace the fingers, leaving index up. Really landing on your feet. Take your fingers all the way over to the right, opening up left side. Guess we should face this way. Back through center, over to the other side. Back through center. Landing your feet, push your hips forward, then tilt your shoulders backwards. Keep the tension out of the neck, press the hips further forward. Press hips, open. Bring it back through center, press hands down to our heart. Shimmy the hips to let go. Inhale all the way up, exhale, swan dive it down. Step left foot back, right foot back. It doesn't matter.
We always do right.
High plank, hold, challenge. And if you're not in the mood for challenge, go down to child's pose. Otherwise, hold and challenge, high plank. Get long. Find your breath, find some strength. And then meet me in down dog. And we're going to do a move for releasing tension in our hips. So try to release judgment and opinions of what this move might be. We are looking to release tension in the hips. Lift the stomach tight towards the spine. Lift up out of the ground. Maybe even bend the knees. And you're going to pulse the feet down towards the ground. Letting it wiggle from the hips. Trying to be as soft as you can from the hips down. Shake it up, release some tension. Let go. And then land it in a regular down dog. Inhale, lift the left leg high and take big, slow circles. The left leg. And then bring the left foot, left wrist. Set up for the lunge. Take some movement back and forward. Inhale forward, exhale, opening up the back of the left leg. Inhaling forward, exhale back. Finding breath and movement. And then land on this front leg, really focusing the weight on the front leg. And take your circles. Weight under the ball of the big toe. And then round over to the side of the foot. Round into the heel. And then around onto the side. Slow as you can. You're feeling every direction your knee can go in without focusing on the knee. You're focusing on the weight of the foot. And then switch the direction of your circles. And then bring it back to regular low lunge. Inhale to rise up. High lunge. Our move here. This time inhaling up. One circle. Exhaling as we come back round. So inhale, first half of the circle. Big slow strokes. Exhale as you bring it back. So nice and slow with the arms. We can think about circles as cleaning our space, cleaning away some energy, clearing the clutter. Bring it back through center. Prayer hands, get steady. Find your breath. Weight forward and step it forward and tap it out. And another way to release tension in our hips is to make them strong and open. And back to the legs, strong and open. So start to take your feet wide. Start to land your feet on the ground. And start to take your hips side to side. We're going all the way down to Malasana Yogi Squat Pose. So find your way down here. Get down.
Something hurts.
Find some movement. You can hold on to your block. Take some of the weight out of the hips. Find some movement. We are going to move and challenge and tap it out here. So, lots of challenge. Take it as small as or as big as you like. I'm going to show the small version. So, not bringing your hips down so low, legs active. We're going to push up, tap out. Push into the heels to come up, tap out. Push into the heels, opposite foot taps across the front. You want to take it all the way down. Malasana. You're going to push deeply into the hips. Inhale as you rise. Tap opposite leg over. You can do it. Come on, let's work these hips just a little.
Sitting there was working my hips.
See, I told you if having your favorite playlist would work. Start to making the arms into it so you can distract yourself even more. Whatever feels good. Press into the heels. Lift up. What can you get rid of?
Ew.
What can you strengthen? And then bring it on down. Pause. Maybe really bringing the chest up. Pause, breathe. And then we're going to press into the hands. Step right foot back. Left foot back. Find high plank. Set up. Meet me in child's or take a little challenge. Nice and strong in the legs. We're going to lift and tap left hand to right shoulder. Right hand to left shoulder. Pressing into the arms. Going very strong and slow. Knees can be down. Connecting with this tap. Placing your hands carefully, maybe not in the same place every time. Challenging different angles, different muscles. And then send the hips back. Down dog and shake it. Bend the knees. Let the heels drop to the ground. Release your tension. Lower the knees. Child's pose. Let go. All right, you made it. All the work is done. Now for slow releasing, finding your breath. Bring your body up, swing your legs out.
See, I'm all sweaty because I didn't really do anything.
Yeah, I'm really sweating. I don't know why you're not. So bring your soles of your feet together and take some butterfly kicks.
Because I always demonstrate the easier. I do it so that they can see both of the options that they have.
Bring your legs out wherever they're comfortable and take some wiggles. So we're looking for those wiggles. Pump the legs up and down. Let everything jiggle and wiggle. And then let your feet land suddenly. Notice if one's more in or out. Just notice. Sometimes when we have little indiscrepancies, just telling our brain that they're there can help reset them.
Yeah, I'm really off today.
Point your toes very, very, very tight. Pull your toes all the way back. Press the heels into the ground. Pull the toes a little more. Press the toes away from you. Point, point, point. Stretch the front of the leg. Pull the toes back. Working through the ankles. Press the toes down and then pull the big toes towards each other. Big toes up, little toes all the way out.
You could have said big toes away from each other.
I know. Sometimes I get all tongue-tied. Bring the big toes back. Bring the balls of the feet back. And then let go. And then make your way down to your back. You don't need the blanket yet.
Did I need the blanket during the first half of the class?
Return to knees to chest. Take a little wiggle. And start to compare how you feel from the beginning of class. Take right knee over left. Draw the knees in towards your chest. Maybe bringing heels to opposite shoulders. You can place your hands on your shins. Breathe. Slowly unravel. Switch sides. Left knee over right.
I missed the first one.
Heels to opposite shoulders. Breathe. Slowly unravel and send the legs long. Take the arms up overhead. Slide the arms and shoulders over to the right and the feet over to the right, opening up left side body. Breathe into the rib cage as if you could press your breath through each rib on the left side. And slowly over to the other side, opening up right side. Big banana on the ground. Breathe into that right rib cage as if you could press your breath through the ribs. And then we're going to take one more shake and release. So make sure you're nice and soft on the ground. The lower back is not pulling and over flattening to the ground. The neck is not over flattening to the ground. Maybe take the chin a little more to the ceiling. A little tiny bend in the knees. Press the heels into the ground. And then we're going to flick the feet. And try and get as many wiggles and jiggles throughout the body and up and down the spine as we can. If the head nods, that's even better. Looking for a full reset, full body wiggle and jiggle. Start to loosen the breath. Start to let go, maybe even closing the eyes. And if you're noticing holding patterns where you don't seem to be wiggling as much as you are in other parts of the body, just notice, send your awareness there. Sometimes just becoming aware can let go of the tension. You can also imagine sending little balls of energy to soften any tight places. Keep wiggling. Keep wiggling. Can you soften your face? Maybe let the vibrations come into your face. Are the palms of your hands soft? Maybe your hands can rock a little more. Take a really strong, deep breath in, and with the exhale, suddenly let go. Let the body stop wherever it lands. And soften and loosen into the ground. And feel free to start to prop up if you prefer to have a prop under the knees, if you prefer to have something for your lower back. Otherwise, just stay here. Let go, meditation time. And before we go, I'm going to read from Maya Angelou, my favorite poem. Alone, lying thinking last night, how to find my soul a home, where water is not thirsty and bread loaf is not stone. I came up with one thing, and I don't believe I'm wrong, that nobody, but nobody, can make it out here alone. Alone, all alone, nobody, but nobody, can make it out here alone. There are some millionaires with money that they can't use. Their wives run around like banshees, their children sing the blues. They've got expensive doctors to cure their hearts of stone, but nobody, can make it out here alone. Alone, all alone, nobody but nobody can make it out here alone. Now, if you listen closely, I'll tell you what I know. Storm clouds are gathering, the wind is gonna blow. The race of man is suffering, and I can hear the moan, 'cause nobody but nobody can make it out here alone. Alone, all alone, nobody but nobody can make it out here alone. So taking time for ourselves, to give ourselves a little unconditional love, a little space for healing, a little space for releasing on our mats. I invite you now to imagine sending out that unconditional love to anyone who might need it right now. Wrapping them in a little ball of energy, whatever visual you need to help connect you with the concept of sending some of this love and healing that we've been doing on the mat out into our community. Maybe together we can imagine that hungry mouths are fed, that people without jobs find work, and that people who need a shoulder to cry on are given a shoulder to cry on. Perhaps beginning to imagine that you are a green wall of shining light, of unconditional love, and from your space here on your mat, your unconditional love is beginning to grow and spread, becoming so full in your physical body that you're able to send it out and allow it to touch those who need it. Feel free to tune me out, switch me off. You don't have to continue with this exercise, but we're going into the Just Like Me exercise. It's a little bit challenging, a little bit emotionally challenging, but I invite you to try it. Bring to mind somebody that you find difficult. It can be anyone in your life that you have been feeling difficult emotions for. You struggle with a connection with this person. Visualize them in front of you. See them clearly. Picture their face. And repeat after me the following sentences while really connecting with their meaning. This person has eyes just like me. This person has a face just like me. This person has experienced joy just like me. This person has experienced sadness just like me. This person is a whole person, complete with sadness and joy, and past and future, just like me. Imagine either wrapping them in a ball of warm, kind, and accepting energy, or simply sending them a smile and seeing them receive the smile and the warmth. And then as you allow them to fade from your attention, allow it to be a soft fading, a kind fading, letting them leave your awareness with kindness. And then softly bring your attention to your hands and make your hands very warm by rubbing them together. And then bring one hand over your heart at a time. It doesn't matter which is on top. Feel the warmth of your hands as if you could seal that warmth into your heart space. And I'm going to repeat an ancient mantra in my favorite translation. Om Namah Shivaya. With great respect and love, I honor my own heart. Om Namah Shivaya. With great respect and love, I honor my own heart. Om Namah Shivaya. With great respect and love, I honor my own heart. And take your time, make your way over to a fetal position, curling up in a little ball and arriving back in the room. Taking your time to ground down. And we're right on an hour. So if you wish to stay in a fetal position or in corpse pose, your resting pose, Shavasana, feel free to stay there. Try to finish up by coming to a seat and bringing your hands to prayer at heart space, these familiar rituals, these familiar patterns, and reminding yourself that you're bringing your left and right sides in front of your heart, as if accepting yourself as whole and complete, precisely as you are. Accept yourself as whole and complete so we can begin to accept others. May we all know love, light, and connection. Thanks for joining us.